Alright, so I have to take this opportunity to talk about this safety features on this Trailblazer. First, there is no lane blind spot detection, indicators or lights, and then here you see this is usually the adaptive cruise control collision avoidance, and instead of like, it's actually kind of deceiving because it's not actual collision avoidance. It's actually just a detector. So be very careful of that. Like, I could pretty much like get close to a vehicle and it doesn't really slow down. So you got to be super careful. It's like, look, I'm just getting so close, and it's like super weird because when you press on the button, you know, it's telling you the gap distance, but the gap distance is only to let you know how far you are away from it. And then there is lane departure indicator, and it's also hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When you veer off from the lane, it should steer you back, but sometimes it doesn't even do that. And then sometimes I could like sneak by like that, and it's supposed to have the indicator that I'm like leaving the lane, and it just didn't even sound off. But then let's see if it sounds off here. See, it doesn't sound off. It's like super, now it sounds off. So super unpredictable, very unreliable safety features. And also be very careful when you're in cruise control and you're changing lanes and you have to speed up because of the underpowered engine. It doesn't speed up as much, and I found out the hard way. I almost cut off a car, and then it almost rear-ended me on the highway because of that. So very disappointed in the safety features in this Trailblazer, being that in other Chevrolet vehicles like the Malibu, they have the adaptive cruise control and lane departure that works very, very well. I don't know why it didn't translate over into this Trailblazer, but that's something that's yeah, definitely keep an eye out, and I wouldn't rely too much on the safety features just as a, you know, last ditch resort. All right. Hello everyone. This week's rental is the Chevrolet Trailblazer. This is a subcompact SUV, brand new 2025 edition, with only 1,000 miles, sitting on 17-inch wheels. Nice stylish design. All the way through. Let's see here, under the hood we have an inline 3 turbocharged engine. I think it is a 1.3 liter. The other variant is a 1.5 liter, both pushing out around 150 something horsepower. Honeycomb front face, very modern looking and sleek design. Under the trunk is a little bit smaller than average storage space, which I don't mind, because if we hop into the back seats. It sacrificed trunk space for backseat leg room space. I will take that any day. Very comfortable back here. High roof line, so you don't feel claustrophobic. Just plastic fairings, nothing too fancy back here. There's actually no air vents or plugs in the middle, and I don't think the center console even comes back down. But an adult could fit in the middle quite easily. There is no divider down there, so it's nice and snug. Very comfortable. Could probably seat 3 in the back. Let's hop on up into the front. All right, so from the front, you're greeted into the cockpit is keyless startup, and you are greeted with a 7-inch all digital display with a 10-inch display, which is a big upgrade from last year's model. Like I said, this is the 2025 model with only 1,300 miles, and still has that new car smell. From the top, middle, we have your light controls, push button lights, which I like. Nothing too much going on there. Visor, no extender, that's fine. Moving on down, you have a pretty basic display, center cluster display. You can't even change any settings. These are hard buttons. I think on the higher trims you can change out see different information, but what you see here is pretty much what you get over here. So you have your signals and lights on the left steering column, windshield wiper controls on the right steering column. Steering wheel is hard plastic, not wrapped in anything. You have your cruise control on the left, and then your Bluetooth audio controls on the right. Moving on here, you have your dimmer for your lights and light switch, little storage area, hood opener, power windows and locks. You have a cloth frame right here, some type of carbon fiber plastic and hard plastic on the rest. Nice little storage areas for large, convenient for large phones. And then you have a cup holder and some storage area over there. Moving on over here, there's a nice big 11-inch center console screen, volume controls, air vents, climate control right here. Moving on down, you have a little bit of storage space over here, 12 volts USB-C, USB-A to connect. And then you have your controls for lane departure alerts, traction control, sport mode, and slippery snow mode. This is a front-wheel drive car, it's not a four-wheel drive, so you have that. You have your gear shifter and your electronic e-brake. You have another area, storage space area right here. Glove compartment has a top tray. And then you have kind of a small but deep center console area. Over here, you have a basic standard glove compartment size. Everything else is kind of like hard plastic, that carbon fiber shiny plastic. So very, very basic Seats are a little bit firm yet comfortable. Other than that, nothing too much to write home about. So let's take this Chevrolet Trailblazer on the road and see how it performs. Alright, so how does the Chevrolet Trailblazer perform on the road? It's quite decent. It's a very vanilla, plain vehicle. Really nothing exceptional to talk about, and no really big glaring weaknesses. Well, there are some great weaknesses, but overall it steers pretty well. Driving in the canyons right now and in the curvy parts, it does steer pretty well. It also brakes a decent braking as well too. The suspension is a little bit firm for an SUV, and the seats don't really help it too much either. It is kind of a harsh ride, but for me, it's not too bad. It's comfortable enough, basically. So maybe one of the glaring weaknesses is the engine. It's a I think this one's a 1.3 liter, 155 inline 3, 155 horsepower turbocharged. It does better in the city than it does out in the open road. That turbo has a lot of lower in torque, so the car drives a little bit more peppy in acceleration and things like that. And despite the name Trailblazer, I think you would be doing less off-roading and more of paved road driving, only because it's mated to a CVT engine, so transmission. So you'll and there's no all-wheel drive. However, if you opt for the 1.6 liter turbocharged, which is slightly more powerful, it does come with all-wheel drive and a 9-speed automatic transmission. Having said that, because it lacks in power, it does a better job with fuel economy. The turbo helps it sip on the gasoline. On a full tank, you'll get around, it says 375 right now, but you can get around, and I drove for a little bit, but you do get around 412 miles on a full tank of gas. So that's one of the trade-offs that you would have to, for the lack of power. You do get better gas mileage. Overall, it's a decent vehicle. Like I said, nothing too outstanding, nothing too glaring. It's just a solid rental, in my opinion. So let me know what you think in the comments section. This is the 2025 model with 1,300 miles. Still has that new car smell. Have you driven one before? Have you driven previous versions of the Trailblazer? What you like about it, what you don't like about it. And I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.